If you stay for just 2 minutes, you'll begin to see women in a way you never have before. Because right now, whether you realize it or not, you're blind to the hidden weaknesses that actually control them. Most men make the same mistake over and over again. They assume attraction is purely about physical looks, a fat wallet, or social status. But that belief is completely wrong. The real power doesn't lie in what you show off. It lies in what you understand, especially about what drives women at the deepest levels. It's about tapping into their subconscious vulnerabilities, the ones they're not even aware of. It's about recognizing the silent triggers that make them chase you, without even knowing why. There are hidden weaknesses, subtle, emotional pressure points that most women don't even realize they have. But once you can spot them, once you learn how to move with them instead of against them, everything changes. Suddenly, you're not the one trying to be chosen. You become the one who chooses. So if you're tired of always being the one who feels powerless, if you're ready to stop guessing and start taking control of your dating life, then stay locked in, because by the end of this video, you'll walk away with the exact knowledge that separates a high-value man from every other guy she forgets after one date. You'll see why some men never even get a shot while others create obsession. And before we dive in, I've got something special just for you. It's a free ebook called The Female Mind Control Handbook. Inside, you'll discover hidden secrets that show you how to tap into a woman's craving system so deeply that she starts thinking about you when she wakes up and can't stop, even when she tries. Sounds intense, it is, but it's also real, and it's yours. Just check the link in the description or pinned comment to grab it now. Let's get into it. Weakness number 1, the temptation of the unknown. Have you ever noticed how women seem drawn to the guy who keeps them guessing? There's a reason for that. Think about it. Why does the quiet, mysterious man in the corner always get more attention than the loud, eager one in the spotlight? Why does the one who says less somehow say more? It's because uncertainty fuels attraction. When a woman can't fully figure you out, her mind starts to race. She begins asking herself questions she can't quite answer. Why didn't he text me back right away? Why does he seem confident, but a little distant? What's going on in his world? What's his story? And what's he hiding? And that's exactly the effect you want. Because when she starts to wonder, her imagination takes over. And the truth is, a woman's imagination will always build a more powerful, more intriguing version of you than anything you could tell her yourself. The more she wonders about you, the more mental space you take up, and the more space you occupy in her mind. The more control you have over her focus and emotions. But here's the mistake most guys make. They talk too much. They explain themselves too soon. They reveal everything in the first few conversations, thinking that it'll help her feel close to them. But what it really does, it kills the spark. Women don't want a full autobiography in week 1. They want to earn the knowledge of who you are, bit by bit. They want to peel back the layers. They want to discover you, not be handed a complete picture right away. That's what keeps the emotional tension alive. So how do you use this to your advantage? To be continued on page 2. So, how do you use the power of mystery to your advantage? Simple. Don't reveal everything. Hold back some details about your life. Let parts of your personality remain undiscovered for a while. Be unpredictable. Sometimes you're available, other times you're not. Don't always reply right away. Let her wait. Let her wonder. Let her crave. Because the moment a woman starts chasing answers, she's chasing you. Weakness number 2. The thrill of dominance. There's a deep-rooted reason why women are drawn to men who naturally take the lead. Picture this. A man walks into a room. He doesn't just enter it, he owns it. His posture, his energy, his confidence, it all speaks louder than words. That's what true power looks like. And power is magnetic. Power is irresistible. Now, sure, women might tell you they want the nice guy, the one who's gentle, who always asks for permission, who never pushes boundaries. But deep down, at the core of her desires, She craves a man who can lead. Think about it. Why do women consistently fantasize about bold, confident, assertive men? Why do they fall for characters in novels or movies who never hesitate, who stand their ground, who know what they want, and go after it without flinching? Because those men provide what most of the world doesn't: certainty. They don't ask for permission, they set the pace. They don't overthink, they make decisions. They don't constantly second-guess themselves. They own their presence. One of a woman's biggest weaknesses is a man who makes her feel like she doesn't need to be in control anymore. She doesn't want to be the one always arranging the plans, always guiding the interaction, always holding the reins. She wants to be able to relax into your leadership, to feel safe, but also excited, to hear you say, "We're going here tonight," and feel like you just made the world more interesting. But the moment you start needing too much validation, the moment you hesitate or let her take over every decision, that's when the attraction fades. If you want the upper hand, lead, be decisive, take initiative, set the tone, own the moment. Because when you take charge confidently, without being controlling, she follows naturally. Weakness number 3. The forbidden fantasy. Every woman, no matter how polished or put together she seems on the outside, has a secret side, a hidden world of desires she rarely speaks about. It's the part of her that craves something wild, something risky, something that feels just a little forbidden. And this is exactly where most men miss the mark. They play it safe, they're too careful, too polite, too predictable. But here's the truth: women don't lie awake at night dreaming about the guy who agrees with everything they say. They fantasize about the man who challenges them, who teases them, who pulls them into experiences they can't resist, even if their logical brain says they shouldn't. Why do you think the bad boy archetype has never gone out of style? It's not because women want to be mistreated, it's because the bad boy represents a challenge, something exciting, a little dangerous, and deeply thrilling. And the truth is, it's not even about being a jerk. It's about creating emotional tension. It's about not being easy to get. So how do you trigger this hidden fantasy? Be unpredictable, break patterns, keep her on her toes, tease her just enough to create sparks. Don't always say yes. Don't always agree. Use the push and pull, draw her close, then create just enough space that she leans in again. Keep the tension alive. Make her feel like she's earning your attention, not being handed it. Make her feel like you're someone she can't quite figure out, someone whose world she wants to be part of, but can't fully control. Because when you become that man, the one who lives just outside the lines, the one who's almost dangerous, but still grounded, you step into her forbidden thoughts, and that's where the real power lives. That's where obsession begins. Weakness number 4. The sweet pain of jealousy. Jealousy is like fire too. Much of it will burn everything down. But just the right amount, it fuels desire. Women are not drawn to men who are too available. She doesn't want a man who has no other options. She wants a man that other women also want, a man who has social value. Here's a truth most men overlook. A woman only starts to see your value when she feels she might lose you. Think about it. Why does she suddenly pay more attention when she sees another woman talking to you? Why do her eyes sharpen when you're surrounded by feminine energy? Because desire breeds desire. Competition awakens instinct. And nothing triggers attraction more than knowing a man wanted by others chooses to give his attention to her. So how do you trigger jealousy without playing childish games? Let yourself be seen with other women. You don't need to flirt. Just be confident, social, and magnetic. Most importantly, let her see that your world doesn't revolve around her. She's a part of your life, not the center of it. Keep a sense of mystery. Let her wonder, am I really holding his full attention? A woman's deepest weakness, the fear of losing something valuable. And when you become that man, high value, independent, and in control, she chased you harder than ever. Weakness number 5, the emotional roller coaster. Here's a harsh truth. Women don't fall for men who make them feel safe. All the time they fall for men who make them feel something real. Strong emotions, unpredictable tension, Emotional depth. Attraction isn't built on stability alone. It's built on emotional contrast, the highs, the lows, the tension, and the release. That's why women love dramatic romance movies, emotional novels, and even intense relationships. And no, I'm not telling you to create toxic drama. But if your presence is too predictable, too soft, too nice, she'll eventually get bored. What's the secret? Emotional contrast. One moment, make her laugh. The next, make her think. Give her attention, then step back. Let her feel that distance. The shift is what keeps her hooked. The unpredictability makes her addicted. If you're just the sweet guy who's always there, she'll soon start looking elsewhere for emotional stimulation. Weakness number 6. The power of validation. No matter how confident, independent, or self-assured she may seem, every woman craves validation. She wants to feel desired, wanted, chosen. And if you know how to control when and how you give that validation, you control the entire dynamic. Most men get this wrong. They give away validation to isolate. They flood her with compliments, seek approval, and hand over their attention for free. They think it'll make her feel special, but in reality, it kills attraction. Weakness number 6 continued. Real power lies in selective validation. Validation loses its power when it's handed out like candy. But when used with precision, it becomes your greatest weapon. So how do you use this power wisely? Don't compliment her looks all the time. Yes, she knows she's attractive. Everyone tells her. But if your attention is too easy, too constant, it becomes background noise. Instead, let her earn your praise. Compliment her when she does something genuinely impressive, when she surprises you with her insight, her strength, or her effort. And sometimes, say nothing at all. Let silence do the talking. Let her wonder what you're thinking, because here's the truth. When a woman starts chasing your validation, she's already emotionally invested. The moment she starts dressing better, when she sees you, texting more often, or fishing for compliments, you've already got the upper hand. Weakness number 7. The seduction of a deep voice. Have you ever noticed that men with deep, steady voices seem to hold a certain spell over women? It's not just about genetics. It's about the subconscious signals a deep voice sends. A low, calm, controlled tone suggests strength. It suggests confidence. It suggests a man who's grounded, unshaken. Meanwhile, most men ruin their presence without realizing it. They speak too quickly. Their pitch rises with anxiety. Their words tumble out in a rush, trying to impress. But if you slow down, if you speak with purpose, pausing to let your words land, suddenly you command attention. Lower your tone, not unnaturally, but just enough to sound more composed. Relax into your speech. Let her lean in, because here's the secret. A man who controls his voice controls the mood. And when a woman starts hanging on your every word, the battle is already won. Weakness number 8. The intoxicating effect of touch. Physical touch, when done right, is magnetic. It bypasses logic. It bypasses words. It speaks directly to the body and the mind follows. But this doesn't mean you should touch more. It means you should touch better. The secret, subtlety and timing. Imagine this. You're walking side by side through a crowd. Your hand gently rests on the small of her back, not possessive, but protective as you guide her through. Or picture this. You're handing her something, and your fingers brush just slightly, barely noticeable, but her skin feels it tanned. Her mind stores it. Even a playful moment touching her arm while laughing at a joke creates an emotional anchor in her memory. These small, well-placed touches create anticipation. They make her wonder, was that on purpose? Did he mean to? Poorly timed touch can feel awkward, even creepy. But master the right touch, at the right moment, and you ignite a fire that needs no words. Touch done right makes her want to be close to you, even when you're not touching her at all. Weakness number 9. The hypnotic power of eye contact. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul. But when it comes to attraction, there's something even more powerful. The doorway to obsession. Most men break eye contact too quickly. They glance, then retreat. They fear being seen too deeply or worse, showing too much interest too soon. Others do the opposite. They stare too hard, too intense, too awkward, and it pushes her away. But there's a middle ground, a place where control and emotion meet. The secret is controlled intensity. Hold her gaze just a moment longer than expected. Not long enough to intimidate, but just long enough to create tension. Make her feel something she can't quite explain, and then you break contact first, but not suddenly. Look away with purpose, as if your thoughts have moved elsewhere. It signals confidence, and if you pair that with a subtle smirk, even just a flicker of curiosity in your eyes, you become unforgettable. Because in that one moment, she doesn't just see you, she feels you, and she replayed that eye contact. In her mind, long after the moment is over. Weakness number 9 continued, eye contact. That stays in her mind. A man who knows how to hold eye contact doesn't just look at her, he sees her, and more importantly, he makes her feel seen. It's not about staring, it's about connecting, silently, on a level deeper than words. When done right, even a brief glance can echo in her mind for hours. If you master this, she'll be thinking about you long after you've walked away. Not because you tried to impress her, but because you left a mark. Weakness number 10. The unpredictability of a high-value man. If there's one thing that quietly kills attraction, it's predictability. A woman might say she wants a nice guy who always shows up. But the men who ignite her curiosity, who make her heartbeat quicken, they aren't the ones who text back instantly or plan the same dinner dates week after week. They're the ones who keep her guessing. Uncertainty creates desire, and women are wired to chase what they can't quite figure out. Think about it. The men who drive women wild are not always available. They're sometimes playful, other times intense and thoughtful. They have a life mission that doesn't revolve around her. They don't explain everything. They let their mystery do the talking, and that's what keeps her hooked. A high-value man lives with purpose. He doesn't need to broadcast his every move or feeling. He might text you back, or he might be off building his empire. And that's exactly what makes him irresistible. Because here's the truth. A woman's biggest weakness is a man she can't fully figure out. When she's wondering what you're thinking, when she's unsure how much you truly like her, when she feels like she's always one step behind your next move, that's when you have the upper hand. So, what will you do with this knowledge? Now that you understand these female weaknesses, are you going to ignore them and keep making the same mistakes? Or are you ready to step up, to own your power, and become the kind of man she can't stop thinking about? The choice is yours. If you found this video valuable, hit that like button, drop your thoughts in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to Stoic Drift for more insights like this. And remember, a high-value man never chases, he attracts. This is Stoic Drift, and we'll see you in the next one.